Welcome back to Bra Grandmaster Battle Royale. We're back. And with a vengeance. We decided to speed right back into it. It's been a couple months, a lot of WCS action, a lot of other show matches and tournaments, but this time, we couldn't get any faster. We took the fastest map possible, and it's green, which is one of my top 3 colors as well, but there's a map. It goes fast. You get a bunch of minerals, you build a bunch of units, and let's get started. You might recognize this from the Brood War, but let me introduce our players as fast as possible. Serenity from Crypt C, Dinosaur X, also known as Practice X, also known as Baby Shark X, Star Killer, yes, the real Star Killer from Team Alpha, Maples from the Maples clan. He has a Canadian flag as his logo, by the way. From the 8 Raw clan, whatever that could mean, White Shadow, we have Windfester and Hupsaya joining, last but not least, Liquid Fluid. Nexus on the way. How many players know what this means? The mineral patches mine incredibly quickly. There is no such thing as oversaturation. There are plenty of gas geysers as well. Why can't we just all be Zerg, Star Killer, chiming in while mismicroing his drones? There's a lot of different takes on fastest map. Do you want to just rush out a huge amount of units? Do you want to try to turn the late game, which doesn't take very long at all? Cannon rush. The workers are all stacked up, so something like a disruptor or some banelings could really ruin your day. But we will have to see. As so far, it looks like most of the Protoss is walling off. Whereas the only Zerg on the map, Star Killer, has now 4 hatcheries. Serenity, one of the couple Terrans. This is the well, 2 players who are not Zerg are not walling off. It looks like no one particularly committed to early aggression. So, we're gonna need that. Cannons across the board. Nothing builds faster. You just gain resources as fast as possible. All these players, grandmasters here on the prestigious North American server, known for epic players such as Neeb and Puck and myself, and for some of the most creative and arguably low-level, high-level plays and players, and we'll see what we will see today. That was so profound. I have the best words. Stargates across the board from the Protosses. We have approximately 15 Stargates in production, give or take. Multiple engineering bays. How many of these players have played this before? I think everybody's played fastest map at one point or another. Especially players this deep into their StarCraft 2 career, or StarCraft career overall. I'm pretty sure the max supply is still 200. We do have the Grandmaster Battle Royale bounty mod, which means when you kill a unit, you get half its resources. So, while you're not going to run out of minerals, because you have approximately 999,999,999 minerals to start. So if we run out, I think most players would literally die first. I died already. Oh my god, have I been missing all the sickest chat? As North America well known for its ability to talk instead of play. This map sucks for Zerg, a typical Zerg comment. Almost every map designed for more than 2 players sucks for Zerg. I will be honest with that. Alright, Void Rays on the way. Command center's walling off. Scans. So far, it looks... Well, the units lost. Oracles coming in. Oracle's surprisingly effective here. Hupsaya looking for... Oh, finally some Void Rays come out. That early aggression actually getting some real damage done. The worker counts in the 40s. Wait, we got 60 for Star Killer. Star Killer with a lot going on. The entire tech tree is blooming almost instantaneously. So these players will be shooting up towards 200 supply. Wait, the Oracles were coming from Liquid Fluid, not from Windfester, who is playing Protoss. And we will have to see how the late game plays out, because of course, you only have your one base of terror. Literal wall of cannons! The CPM is through the roof. Void Rays aren't going to solve this. Yeah, good luck with this. Carrier's on the way. A classic tactic. All you Bronze League heroes out there. This is essentially the expedited version of Bronze League heroes. Yeah, that's going to depower it. A handful of Void Rays on the way. Meanwhile, Carriers have arrived, but so have the Tempest. The capital ship battle begins. Cannons buffering for either side. A double Marine drop. What a pedestrian choice from the Terran players, Banshees and Marines, whereas the Protoss shot straight up into the Stargate tech. Meanwhile, Muta's on top of course, Carriers of Maple. The Marines just killing the Banshees. Muta's, Starkiller loves his Mutas. If you've ever watched Grandmaster Battle Royale or any of Starkiller's games, he loves Mutas. Maybe too much. Are there Phoenixes on the way? GG, says Serenity, focused on other things. I mean, that's kind of how it works. And down goes one of our two Terran players. A surprising and inordinate amount of Protoss. Having planetaries at the front doesn't save you against the drops. And meanwhile, also a huge attack from Dinosaur X. Not looking to go extinct yet. Plenty of Mutas. I do apologize, by the way, because I met so many of you amazing nerds at BlizzCon. I have been sick, and not in the classic going blink DTs, but instead in the, oh, that's very sad, feel better, empty social media reach out type of way. So I'm gonna try to keep up. Hopefully they kill each other pretty quick. Peace. I'll remember that. We'll see. The Muta's going to work. Maples is trying to hold on. That's a lot of cannons. But the Artosis pylon is assassinated. Starkiller may actually... He's going for the next side. Oh my god. Looking like the most Protoss base that was ever Protossed. Windfester is playing like a campaign mission over here. He's maxed out on Mothership Tempest and is lining it. Wait, are the cannons in range of the other cannons? Not quite. Like the beaches of Normandy. I'm not even sure he has enough space to put his probe while he's building this. But perfectly mapped out. A single Tempest. I think he's trying to lose it. I'm not sure why. A scouting Tempest. Maples will crumble beneath the might of Starkiller. The Tempest from Liquid Fluid, so a base has been cleared out. There's a no man's land here. Of course, anybody could claim that for their own. Is it necessary? I don't think so. Every player is now banking up money. That's the one thing you don't hurt for in this mode. Oh, he's gonna drop Marines underneath the Tempest! Right on top, the Doom drop. The Tempest can't move fast enough. The Stim is there. Many of the Tempests gonna be taken out. And Marines are pretty cheap. Down goes Maples. Did he have any parting words? Be nice, sad face. Whereas Starkiller said, be dead, happy face. I'm paraphrasing. I kill Protoss, none must live. Well, he's got plenty of targets. Have the Terran and the Zerg banded together against the Fort? Well, Dinosaur X did attack Starkiller. He is the obvious target. Here comes Dinosaur. There are some Banelings underneath. Oh, anti-armor missile! Dorito dusting everything! He said nothing about Terran. Looks like Banelings found some connections. Starkiller, he can build whatever he wants. And he wants 76 Zerglings. But why? Yeah, that is another weakness of these matches, is the literal frames per second. He picks 100 Zerglings now from his dozen or so hatcheries. He may eventually defend his base. Where are the Ultras? Because everybody knows Ultras are the most dramatic way to lose. Hupsaya has been defeated by the well-kept base of Windfaster. Stuck between two Protoss. Meanwhile, the Broodlords going to work. Liberators and Vikings gonna overrun them. Starkiller has the unique issue of losing too much supply. Half a dozen Liberators siege up the mineral line. Starkiller gonna be losing a lot of his economy. 22 Corruptors on the way. I'm not sure what the upgrades are. Meanwhile, the Protoss standoff continues. Uh-oh. Starkiller in trouble. White Shadow and the Terran. He might be right. He might be right. We need to team. There are too many. Starkiller not able to, well, Zerg not known for their diplomacy skills. And it's very quickly going to come down to the final four. At this point, with the Void Rays, they have 3-2-3 upgrades. This is the fastest map possible. Starkiller will buffer, unfortunately for his Terran opponent. The no man's land of Hupsia's base is now a Tempest War. Windfaster has enough minerals for dozens of cannons, and he's not afraid to show it. Starkiller has become a refugee. He will escape, for now. The Tempest will war. Windfaster, a big fan of cannons. You gotta get that probe. He's doing a great job with the forward cannon bases. Starkiller has literally nothing. That's what Starkiller wants you to think. White Shadow has put his base together. We're noticing a trend here. Starkiller says, yeah, I died. Really very convincing. Unfortunately, he's found another base. Another scan. Dinosaur X has no mercy. There's a good chance that Starkiller has taken so many of his ladder points. This is his chance to get revenge. Starkiller reaches out diplomatically. This is maybe not the time. The time for diplomacy may have passed. Starkiller has money. He's desperately trying. This is happening. Dinosaurs is trying to make him extinct here. 100%. And Starkiller, Dino, you need me. Starkiller has been defeated. Well, we'll see if his last words were the truth. 11. There were 4. Stop taking my lines, White Shadow. That's my job. I say we kill the Nidus Abuser. Which one is it? Some of these players obviously play Zerg, but decided that Protoss was their best chance for winning this match. And really using it to its fullest. So, we have 3. How many cannons is that? There are 96 cannons. We're about to reach 100 cannons. The CPM is in the dozens on this map. White Shadow has to cut a path out of his own base for his own probe. As you can only have so much supply, static defense is the only option. The Marines, he charges up the Void Rays, which does nothing but make them look scarier. It definitely helps against the Vikings, though. It does. But there are more than enough Vikings. There's enough turrets! There are random turrets everywhere. The Terrans without the advanced symmetry of the Protoss, but the scrappiness to pull through in that battle. He's making 15 Liberators at a time, 19 turrets. Meanwhile, I mean, while the Liberator is not well known for their anti-air nowadays, when you make 15 at a time, that's something. God. There's so much. I'm sorry, I need some liquid fluid in my life, too. Oh my god. I gotta appreciate, if nothing else, the symmetry of Windfaster's base. He is really committed, even despite all the battles here, to having a perfectly placed and efficient cannon battery setup. Whereas Dinosaur X has decided he has how many? 130 turrets! 130 turrets strewn throughout a whole quadrant of the map. The TPM has never been higher. He actually is spending so much money, he's not banking up tens of thousands of resources, making him unique in this match, whereas the Protoss have 20 and 30k. Yeah, the scans are there. The thing is, on paper, the Marines straight up, they can fight the Void Rays, the Tempest, the Carriers. The Protoss have decided to combine arms against the Terran. The Terran has expanded like a plague throughout this entire map. But are there enough turrets to hold them back? What is the winning strategy for Dinosaur X? He has created quite a buffer zone for himself. I think he can maintain this careful balance for quite a while yet. Between, well, the incomes are ridiculous. Technically, you could make 40 turrets per minute and still be making money. Anti-armor missile, stalling out for now. What is the worker count for in the 40s and 50s? It really doesn't tell you that much. Most of those are used for making stack. Looks like everybody's going to be exchanging their energy balls from downtown. I have no idea who's winning. Good luck. The Marines definitely a little more efficient here, but once again, the bank is not there. They're 40k, 27-27. Practice X has a, Baby Shark, Dinosaur X has a gas bank, but that's not as, oh wait, he's going nukes! Nuclear missiles! That is one way to deal with this many cannons. Actually, probably the best way. There's no way a ground army is dealing with that. Nuclear missiles in StarCraft 2 do not cost supply. That is actually, besides static defense, one of the only ways to get a force multiplier when you're maxed out already. Nukes are gonna start landing across the board, ever the crowd pleaser. Meanwhile, the standoff continues, the shelling. They're in the trenches. And, so many Tempests will die, but at what cost? They'll all be replaced. They can just keep throwing them out there. The nuclear missile might break the standoff for now. How many cannons will it get? I'm not even sure how many players heard the nuclear launch detected notification, because Tempests have like the loudest attack, literally the loudest attack in the game. It's so hard to hear anything over the Tempest shooting. Like, never has that been more of a concern than right now. God. And we thought this would be a quick match. More nukes. I'm not even... Is this the only nuke? I believe so. I believe it was spotted. Or was it? Yeah, it definitely was. He's just gonna start throwing them around. Actual time warp? I don't think it affects air. I think in the next balance patch it does. But I was... So only because I read the patch notes that I learned... Oh, time warp doesn't affect air right now? So obviously these professional Protoss players, or Protoss as we call them, also don't know that. The units lost, reaching the hundreds of thousands. The turret's easily going to dispatch most of the interceptors. He just needs to maintain a critical mass. I assume he has... Of course he has armor and high-sec auto tracking. He's not a casual. How many turrets are still on the map? Only 144. And Dinosaur X... His well, he was surrounded by a Terran and a Zerg. He had a buffer zone of non-Protoss, and that seems to have helped him thrive. The corner players having the most success, with the notable exception of Maples in the bottom left. Marines doing their absolute best. I like how he's still putting the Marines in, but he's moving up to the battle cruisers. Remember, there are bounties. You get half the resources for each kill. So that further, that makes the rich richer. Dinosaur X still under 1,000 minerals. He's really spending all the money he gets here. Whereas the Protoss is 38, 40, and 45k in the bank. As we've reached quite a standoff. That doesn't mean he's not mining dramatically. Probes? Yeah, I think when you have 40k in the bank, you can afford to let go of a few probes. Okay. Another nuclear missile. Is there anything to spot the ghost? Now here's the thing. Oh, a double nuke might actually make the difference here. Does he notice the nukes? He may. Or he may just continue the attack. It did zone him out, I guess. Oh, that second nuke actually took a lot longer to... Meanwhile, this war continues. And pretty soon we're going to be going into 1917 with still nothing decided. Actually, is real notable progress being made? I mean, kind of. Dinosaur X is hurting for money. There are some battle cruisers, but not like a game-deciding number. Oh, well, we'll find out. Oh, a nuke almost hit the camera. We don't have insurance for that. This battle continues. This is the most like this up here, it's just been Tempest on Tempest action, which is, as they say, super boring. But down here has been an interesting exchange of Protoss technology versus Terran lives. Dinosaur X has lost the most by a decent margin. Starkiller lost a lot, but very quickly. Credit to him. Meanwhile, this continues. The actual production time of Tempest is the issue now. No shield upgrades for liquid fluid. I'm not sure how much of a difference that's making, but it's something. The shield upgrades apply to buildings as well, so that's actually kind of a massive oversight. 14 Tempests in production at a time. Now, the balance of war could be tipped. This isn't a 2-on-2, by the way. Open is a strong word for someone who has 83 cannons. The battlecruisers jump in. Yamato cannons. Not all of them were in full repair. Oh, is there detection? Oh, he's baiting! He's baiting! Is it masterful enough? Here come the nukes! Oh! Oh, he gets them all! Oh, finally! Finally! The Eagle has landed! He gets the entire fleet, and he has to rebuild it. You can't warp in carriers! He worked for that for so long! He's nuking his way through the defenses! If he can get in before the Void Rays come out, he's gonna tear open a breach in the wall, and here come the Terrans! There's not enough time! The Void Rays aren't done yet! There's only a handful of units! He breaks through! Will it be enough to take him out? Remember, there's another base with approximately 1 fuck ton of Stargates down here, so it's not over yet. But he opens up the opportunity. It doesn't appear it's gonna be quite enough, but 2 nuclear missiles open up what could be a game-changing moment in this reenactment. But this time, they don't quite take out the means of production. While a dramatic step, Dinosaur X still far away from securing a victory, but definitely taking steps towards victory. Wait a second. It looks like Windfester is winning the tug of war, much less dramatically in the boring Tempest versus Tempest fight. Where are my nukes? There are my nukes. I have no idea if that ghost is detected, but the nuke is still launching. Marines continue to be sent in. Void Rays from the east. The nuke, it looks like the ghost died, and Dinosaur X is driven out. The Tempest count is too goddamn low over here. He's not even producing any Tempest. It appears Liquid Fluid has given up. He lost his fleet beacon. Oh no, it's a disaster. But the battle changes as Void Rays continue to be built. And the fleet beacon Liquid Fluid, it looks like he's drying up. The battle between White Shadow and Dinosaur X continues on the southern front. I propose you leave me alone, Liquid Fluid, with some top-tier diplomacy there. The Windfester declines the offer. Yamato Volley. The Void Rays weren't rallied very well. The Marines easily taking them out. A recall. Yeah, good luck with that. He loses half the units. The Terran army continues its march. Windfester has built up quite an outpost. It appears he has won the war in the north. And that is really going to change. So Windfester is closest to White Shadow. But he's taken a very methodical approach to executing Liquid Fluid over the last 10 minutes or so. Whereas White Shadow and Dinosaur have been just duking it out. The Marines continue forward. He jumps. Not very far. Okay. Both sides are continually maxed out. It comes down to production. Liquid Fluid is about to be fully evaporated, and that will leave us with a top 3 situation. Nuclear missiles trying to bait it out. He might go for the turrets in the center, which have been rebuilt, of course. The nukes could help with the defenses. I don't know how many nukes are in the tank. He still has a couple and counting. Dorito Dust, anti-armor. There's no probes mining here. 2 battle cruisers. What does Terran have? What does Terran have? Too much, says White Shadow. That's arguable. Windfester. Calculating. Liquid Fluid has been defeated. And then there were 3. The scrappy battle, which has gone nuclear. It appears White Shadow has said all he needed to direct his Protoss brother, the one who actually planned ahead. And now a new challenger approaches for Dinosaur X. He's now got 2 Protoss bearing down on him. Will the Terran army be able to withstand? Oh, beautiful EMPs hit all the Templar. No storm here. There's not even a hope of Templar, just the Tempest. There's just so much. He's driven back Windfester, but there is a mothership. Archon's on the ground. Not that that's going to matter much. I don't think he has any ground upgrades. He does not. Just the shields, which are pretty good on Archons, but... The Terrans now. More hopeful nuclear missiles. Trying to zone out. Trying to zone them into each other. But Oracle coming out. Windfester. The methodical glassing of the entirety of the rest of the map. At this point, he seems inevitable. The jump. He jumps to the back. That's optimistic. At best. Oh, down goes the mothership. But here comes the Terran. The Marines underneath. There's a lot of cannons. Marines a lot cheaper than Tempest, I'll tell you that. But remember, you get half of all the Unit 2 kill. Some pot shots taken. The racial solidarity holds for now. Another mothership, more nuclear missiles, still plenty of resource. Oh, incredible storms! Disgustingly good storms. He backs off for the nukes. Some of the silos will be taken out. Oh, the turrets are doing their best. There's still plenty of them. It looks like the Terran army is on the chase. Will he recall out? I think he's debating it right now. Are there enough Marines? The interceptor count is dropping insanely fast. An actual time warp being used. Anti-armor missile gonna help! The Marines trying to get underneath. But Windfester is working on the other flank. He doesn't have much left. Go in. Little does he know. I am, says Windfester. A man of few words, but much action. But the turret flank. Down go the carriers. Did I speak too soon? They are going to be running over the mass of turrets here. Target fire needs to be utilized by these Vikings. They do have full upgrades. The limiting factor for Dinosaur X is all his production. Like, yeah, the physical space that they take up to build that many starports and barracks is unfortunately quite high. There's not that many SCVs mining minerals. The Protoss. Combined forces. Windfester is looking to eliminate the Terran and then destroy his Protoss brother. White Shadow. Will White Shadow realize he's destined for destruction? Is he happy with second place? Protoss brothers for life. White Shadow, his destruction is nearly certain if he continues on his campaign against the Terran. He's fighting for his own death right now. Windfester. Maybe reconsidering the scenario. Some pot shots just happening. Oh my god. 128 cannons, 66 shield batteries, and counting. Oh my. I think I've seen a campaign mission that looks like this. Windfester is finally branching out. He's so far outside from the Kala that he's no longer as committed to an aesthetically pleasing cannon line. This isn't too good, XD. There are cannons now killing. I'll attack from south. Dinosaur X really needs more SCVs. He has less than he started with. Hey, your Terran mate. There's been infighting between the Protoss before. All right, we've had this conversation. Yeah, rest in peace, Starkiller. Dinosaur X turns to the last hope for the Terrans and their last choice, which is diplomacy with the Protoss. Yeah, everybody made sure to eliminate the Zerg early on. Vengeance for this entire year of tournaments. Tempest continue to show. Alright, let's turn the health bars off. What? But it... Wizard! Maybe it only changes between games. Meanwhile, Windfester is cannon rushing his Protoss Brothers base. Pylons are good for your health. Citation needed. Wait a second. The Terrans have been pushed back. He's lost 160,000. There's plenty of Vikings to deal with these Tempests. Wow. And they definitely deal with them. But the fleet, oh my god. The Golden Armada. The hand, fist, forearm, and shoulder of Neeb. Channeled in the center of the map. As we can see, White Shadow, the reek of this game, finding solace in groveling before his obviously superior Protoss brother. There's nowhere else to run to. 210 cannons. How many nukes would it... Like, if you could just nuke with nothing else, how many nukes would it take to take all that out? It would be easily in the dozens. Dozens. More Yamatos. Does he even have any? He lost his Ghost Academies. Is this gonna be like so many battle royales that end not with an epic battle, but with failed diplomacy and long-held grudges? Windfester moving in. The rally point of White Shadow is cut off by approximately 15 fuck tons of cannons and Tempests, as Windfester has taken the entirety of the center of the map. He also has robotic, looking like the this looks like a Protoss anime right now. This is like Ire as they wrote about in the Kala. 224, 2 Dark Shrines, 39 Stargates. Wait, how many Stargates on the other? 23. This is happening. I thought we had something. Windfester. Yeah, you stopped helping. White Shadow. I don't know if we'd play the... I don't know if it's time to play that card. It appears, and Dinosaur X scans in hope. He's been given slight time to rebuild. Windfester turns his eye of Protoss Sauron in a very cliche manner. The two weakest players have finally realized maybe we need to band together to defeat the Protoss evil. But is it too late? Has the time for resistance passed? It isn't unlikely. As Dinosaur X, a shell of what he once was, still incapable of realizing half his SCVs are not mining. There you go. Windfester grinds over mercilessly with no emotion. Almost micros away the Observer in time. Is there any stopping the Windfester Broodlord? Despite the fact he's playing Protoss. He has... he has a whole Legacy of the Void campaign of defenses. Start pushing him? I mean... the resistance... Windfester, he's taking his sweet, sweet time. White Shadow is desperately trying to stay afloat. Technically, Dinosaur X has the most valuable army. Mostly because he has... well, actually, Windfester has 3 probes. I think he... oh, he doesn't have that much money in the bank. And by not that much, I mean 18k, 18k. His army is literally 197 supply. Okay, 195. I think at this point Dinosaur X realizes when White Shadow is actually desperate and when he's just whining. Oh, these Tempests. The probes on a one-way trip. The mothership take it out. Both motherships mutually assured. Mothership assured destruction. More nuclear missiles on the way. Dinosaur X. He's not extinct. Not quite yet. White Shadow is desperately trying to hold on. There's a single Dark Templar! The Zeratul strat. One Dark Templar to ruin everything. Oh, okay. And then he's like, oh, come on, everybody. The water's warm. And 14 more Dark Templar come in. And suddenly, serious issues. The scan is there. It doesn't help his opponent see the DTs, though. It doesn't work like that. Suddenly, his secondary base is now completely eviscerated. That's not that many carriers here. I say as he has a dozen carriers. Oh my god, the Tempest. Just obliterate. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's like 30 Tempests. How many Tempests does he have? He has 30 Tempests. You see, I'm pretty good. Yeah, good luck with that. Carriers are not the answer. What is the answer? I don't know. And then there were 2. Good luck here. It's you and me, buddy. Dinosaur X has made it. But here comes the Protoss. He killed some cannons. How dare he? There's only 223 cannons and 126 pilots. Terran against the world. He doesn't have much of a bank. The Thors can barely move around the base. The turrets are being built. What can be built faster, turrets or cannons? Well, you need SCVs to each individually built turret, so. The DTs are working on the planetary. They will get the planetary. Feeding a little money. I'm not entirely sure what the long-term strategy of Dinosaur here is. Maybe to reenact the fate of the dinosaurs. There are some nukes in these. He's losing it. Oh my god. Beautiful Oracle usage. Let's look at the cams here. This is the Dinosaur cam. And this is the Windfaster cam. Oh, that's quite a jump! Good luck with that! Not even using Yamato. Disaster. Disaster. On some days, the villains are victorious. There's no way out of this. He's broke. He's not maxed out. There are 250 cannons opposing him. What is there left? What is there to be done? Die. He can die. He had his moment with the nuclear missiles. He destroyed a potential ally in Starkiller. And Windfaster has methodically locked out the entirety of the map. It's the sound of hundreds and thousands of Tempest shots that drives a man insane. He's bleeding out. He's on the floor! And Infestor just keeps another one, and another one. But like so many games, whoever gets the Protoss capital ships, he is your victor. Not a surprise, but an inevitability. The methodically executed annexation of essentially the entire map. The destruction, one by one by one, of everyone who stood before him, embracing his own name, Windfaster. He wins in the slowest way, the fastest map possible. Thank you to Drickit, as always, for putting this all together. Check out, if we're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Come on, support Save the Esports. You made it this far. You didn't just skip to the end to see if he'd win like you thought he would, did you? You didn't just skip 15 minutes after he had 4 bases and no one could contest him. Of course not. So, but if of course you didn't do that, like and subscribe. And check out Drickett's Patreon to help him put all these on. He puts together these matches, and I just show up to yell at them. So, congratulations to WinFaster and Protoss Everywhere on their very first tournament win this entire year, give or take. Thank you to my voice for holding up long enough. Thank you to you guys for watching. Thank you to the players for participating. I hope you enjoyed. And what do you think? Fastest map? Protoss? What should we remove? What should we add? But to many more in the future. Good luck. Have fun. And thank you for watching the only palatable Battle Royale. Grandmaster Battle Royale.